5.1 Parry analysis. Notes and comments. Okay, so somebody put out a good video that I wanted to react to that breaks down the parry windows after 5.1. So we can really understand what's going on with these parries. I'm not too sure if anyone covered this yet, but if they did, I'm sorry. But I definitely wanted to react to this to also understand what I'm looking at when I'm parrying. I had a few, like maybe one or two, missed parries in videos recently that I know I missed. You know what I mean? However, I've been doing a lot of parrying, and it still feels pretty good. Like, I'm not too sure what I'm looking at yet, but I heard there was a parry bug where if you missed a parry and didn't move, you weren't able to parry anything. But that's not the case anymore. So, as I've been playing heavy, and you know, I use a fencing weapon with my tactical. I've been playing those two classes quite a bit recently, and yeah, I don't really notice that big of a difference from patch 4.0 to patch 5.1. So I don't notice that big of a difference, but I do want to understand what I'm looking at. So I'm still able to parry things. I'm parrying as heavy quite often, which is kind of cool, considering it's not really a parry class. You don't really have a melee weapon, but the heavy still has a pretty nice parry. So I'm not too sure what's going on, man. So I really wanted to check out this parry analysis to see exactly what's going on. Also, to relay the information to you guys. Yeah, let me know how you guys been handling parries in the new patch. And yeah, let's get to the video. Right, here we have balanced parries. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, just some simple parrying. Is this in trials? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, balance is pretty good. The block window starts upon button press, followed by perfect parry frames. Oh, hold on, sorry. Didn't realize we had to read for this. The block window starts upon button press, followed by perfect parry frames through the end of the animation. Wait, really? Followed by perfect parry frames through the end of the... okay. The block window starts upon button press. So, okay, so yeah, you can see them. Yeah, I mean, that's a good parry right there. Okay, and then he misses that. With some leftover animation frames of vulnerability. Yeah. That, I mean, that's fair. That's just a missed parry. Fencing. All right. Big parry on the fence. Parry frames start up immediately and seem to last the whole way through. Oh, yeah. Okay, so fencing's in a good spot then. It's interesting that we actually kind of see it break down like this. Yeah, so balance. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, honestly, now that fencing is fixed, what is balance even for? Big parry. Start up immediately, and then yeah, you get them all the way through. I want to see this with other enemies as well. I just want to check this out one more time. Balance. That's still a good parry. But apparently balance is pretty, it has like a slow swing. I mean, fencing is kind of slow if you compare it to blocking also, I guess. I mean, dude, those parries still look like they link up really well. And then this missed parry. Yeah, see how it's too early? Yeah, that's that is what my missed parries are looking like right now. And I mean, I do use fencing, you know, so you can still miss parries the same way. Parry frames start up immediately and seem to last the whole way through. Yeah, all right, let's see how the community breaks this down. I really want to see what people are looking at with the new fencing changes. Some people are saying that it's been nerfed, but I gotta admit, I think it's fine for the most part. I mean, it looks like honestly, I can remember one or two parries I missed with fencing recently. So, all right, let's see what the community says about this. I didn't quite land an end frame fencing parry window to see how long the window actually is, but it seems to end on the same frame the balanced parry window does. I didn't include a perfect block analysis, but it's basically the reverse of balance. You get your perfect block in when balance would normally get a regular block immediately on startup when you press the button, and where there would be a perfect parry frame on balance, block weapons land and in perfect block. This was a very cursory test, so it doesn't examine the effects on minorists and whether there are still bugs that cause repeated parries to fail. I don't think there are. I really don't think there are. The purpose here is just to show that hopefully fencing is working as intended as compared to balance, and does indeed have a more generous parry window. I mean, hey, thanks for showing it off. I mean, frankly, I think fencing is in a it's in a good spot. Again, I still see people think fencing has been nerfed. So I just want to go over this analysis and information to see if anyone, talks about that. But from what I've seen, it looks like fencing is fine. I mean, it looks like fencing is working, so that's good. It's better than what we had at patch 5.0. Patch 5.1 fixed it. So I don't know. I'm parrying a lot, man. I'm parrying quite a bit. For me, since Vanguard already gets a parry bonus, I find that the extra speed from Balanced Knife is an attractive option. If I stick to light combo, it's easier to dodge unblockable attacks when they occur, and I don't mind not staggering because I want them to attack me so I can counter for a gun strike. Alright, well that's cool. I should try out Vanguard in operations soon. I definitely like the combat knife, so yeah, something like this definitely appeals to me. That's kind of crazy that you can just use a balanced knife and then it's essentially a fencing knife with a perk. That's pretty cool. Fencing is 100% not what it used to be before patch 5.0. I had over 250 hours played before patch 5.0, and I am certain of it. I used to be able to get surrounded by mobs and I could parry them all day long without missing a single one. However, since 5.0 and even after the parry fix patch, that has not been the case. Okay, so if you're surrounded and you're parrying everything, I mean, that's good. Dude, wait, now that I think about it, I've been surrounded by majors and I double parried some. It's just gun striking. Sometimes you can get hit. Yeah, look, I gotta be honest. If you're still struggling with parries, that might be a position situation. I don't know. This guy said it's 100% not what it used to be, so I'm not too sure if he's actually struggling with parries. But the situation he is highlighting here is definitely a situation I've been in recently, and I have been able to parry like quite a bit. This could be. What if this was like a frame generation issue? Whereas if you have like low or high frames, certain damage cuts through. Destiny 2 had a problem like this. I will admit it was a little broken and it was easy to cheese large groups with the fencing weapon. However, my problem isn't that they changed how fencing parry worked, it's that they didn't do anything to improve the overall offensive feel of melee, in my opinion. I disagree. I mean, wait, unless you're talking about just fencing, but blocking weapons feel very aggressive. Blocking weapons are very strong. So it isn't how they changed how fencing parry worked. It's that they didn't do anything to improve the overall offensive feel to melee, in my opinion. I just disagree. I disagree. Blocking weapons are good. Blocking weapons are good. You can play very aggressive with them. It just takes a different pattern for blocking than parry. So if you've been parrying for 250 hours and then go to blocking, it's going to feel weird. It just takes practice. It really just takes practice. But yeah, look, fencing still feels the same. You're just gonna fence and get some gun strikes, which is fine. But no, the offensive feel of melee is actually in a good spot right now. So I just strongly disagree with this. Does this mean that it's no longer manageable? Of course not. However, it doesn't feel as good as it used to be, and it feels like we're being punished for playing more melee-focused classes. Like, okay, so a couple of things here. First of all, I think they're a little too worked up here. I don't know. Fencing is 100% not what it used to be before patch 5.0. Like, I just feel like that's not really giving us how they feel. It feels like they're kind of, exaggerating the change of fencing a bit. And then, obviously putting their gripes about melee in it and then having that affect their opinion. I understand if fencing has been nerfed by a frame or two. That's like one thing, and that's one thing to talk about. But you can't say the blocking changes didn't help how melee feels. Like, you can't say that. That's just objectively wrong. I've been playing blocking weapons. Blocking weapons are in a good spot. As far as I've been playing blocking weapons with the Thunderhammer and the Chainsword, and both of those are really good. And both of those you get benefits for playing aggressive. You get a block in, maybe you get a second block in, and then you go for a big swing. That's a lot of damage. That is a good. That is good aggressive play, because not only the Chainsword also is like this. It's very fast, so you can go in there, get a couple swings in, and then block, and then get another bigger swing in. The Thunderhammer, you gotta, that's the Thunderhammer. You gotta place your attacks very specifically with that weapon. But still, giant big swings, big slams, very aggressive. Frankly, you can jump up in the air, slam down, get the damage that way, block, and then punch them with the extra block damage right afterwards, and that's aggressive playstyle to me. I'm not too sure what this guy's talking about. Okay, so they didn't want us to spend so much time in the gun strike cycle, but they didn't do enough to improve the offensive melee gameplay and just nerf the defensive aspect. Look, I'm not saying they can't buff melee at all anymore, but I'm saying it's in a better spot than it was, and saying that they didn't do anything to improve it when they added a whole other mechanic just feels dishonest to me. This is a bad comment, man. Feels bad, man. They need to bring the PTR next patch before they do anything else. Having to adjust my gameplay every few weeks with broken mechanics and bugs is frustrating. Yeah, see, look, they don't even need to like use any hyperbole. Every few weeks, bro, we're not even getting patches every few weeks. You can't say they're changing the gameplay every few weeks. You can say, look, you can say every patch. You can say every patch, but the hyperbole makes it feel dishonest. They definitely do need to bring the PTR. You're right about that. And yes, you are right about it being annoying that you gotta, switch up your attack swings and all that. If they mess up, like, for example, the parry bug. But I'm gonna say the parry bug's an outlier. We never had anything that big of an impact really affect gameplay. And fencing now is in a good spot. Blocking now is in a good spot. And balance seems like it's in a good spot, considering I just read that a Vanguard was able to use a balanced combat knife like it was fencing. So, I don't know. I think I spent a lot of time with this comment, but this comment, there's definitely some nitpicks here that I just wanted to address that I just don't think is accurate. And yeah, the only thing they really have a right to be annoyed about is having to change your gameplay because of a bug. But then as soon as they go say it's every few weeks, it's just like, bro, you don't even need to be, you don't even need the hyperbole there. You can just say, I'm kind of tired of switching up my gameplay every time a new patch drops because a bug, messes up parry. Like, honestly, you really only have one example of that anyway, to be completely honest. You can consider the ruthless and lethal parry windows a aspect of this, but it doesn't change the fact that people have been playing on ruthless and lethal quite a bit since then, and they really haven't had to change their gameplay. They just get used to a certain window that's a little bit tighter, and it kind of makes sense because it is higher difficulty. However, that's still a change that I wouldn't really do. I think just having parry windows be consistent throughout all the difficulties kind of helps, negate criticism like this. But frankly, this guy's just going to find something to be mad about anyway, I feel like. And you know what? This guy's, he is entitled to his opinion and all that, that's fine. And honestly, I've seen way worse comments than this before. It just annoys me where people are just like, intellectually dishonest. like this guy's basically ignoring the fact that blocking, like right now, blocking is fun, and it is a different melee. It is a different approach to melee, and it feels more aggressive. Effectively making his comment about them doing nothing to change how melee works, it just comes off very dishonest. Here's what they should do. Same parry windows for all weapons. Fencing is fastest attack speed and has lowest damage output and lowest stagger from parrying. Balance is slower, but more damage output and more stagger from parrying. Block is slowest, but has the most damage output and most stagger from parrying. Keep the blocks new adrenaline surge also. Wait, what? Keep the blocks new adrenaline surge also. Okay, what? This was... See, okay. It's one thing to be annoyed at the patch because it breaks something, but like there's a lot of suggestions here that just don't work. Same parry window for all weapons. Like that's fine, I guess. I mean, it's only like a frame or two different. Fencing is fastest attack speed and has lower damage output and lower stagger from parrying, which is like he just nerfed parrying with this suggestion. No, fencing does not need a faster attack speed. Fencing is 4 parries and 4 gun strikes. I mean, you can do some swings if you want, but, that's not the way fencing should be built. Balance is slower, but more damage output and more stagger from parrying. Why does balance have a stronger parry than fencing? This is like, okay, bro, I'm going into brain rot. I think I need to... This video turned into something completely different. We basically just started going after people complaining about parrying again. And again, I just want to point out that it's okay to complain about parrying being broken. It's okay about, relearning parry steps, all that. That's fine. That's annoying. But like, come on. Like some comments are just like, you know what? Parrying's broken. They should just take it out and that'll make the game better. It's just like, what? Regardless, okay, you won't hear it from me. I think I ranted enough. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about parrying. I swear I won't like nitpick anything. It's fine. I understand. Look, we talked about this quite a bit, and I've already talked about in the comments with people. I understand that's frustrating that parrying is broken, and you have to change your parry window. But like, come on. Nerfing fencing and blocking is not a good suggestion at all. And this has upvotes. Like, that's crazy, dude. I think people just upvoted that here, this is what they should do. And they're just like, yeah. Block is slowest. Yeah, dude, let's nerf blocking. That'll make melee better. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this subject. If anything changes with parrying, I'll cover it and stuff. But I can't read this stuff anymore, man. Some of these people just have really bad suggestions and just like actively ignore the way the game is at the moment. They're not playing the game enough. You guys in the comments are playing the game enough, so, I'll take whatever you guys have to say at face value. It's fine, yada, yada, yada. But like some of this stuff, block is slowest. Let's just make blocking weapons slow. Like, let's just do that. Oh, so frustrating. Okay, moving on. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments how you've been dealing with parrying recently. Parrying is fine for me. It feels almost as perfect as it used to be, so I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. We need to hear from you guys, because otherwise we don't have a good sense of what is actually going on. You know what I mean?